Have you ever wondered what top makeup artists do for mature skin to apply makeup? Hi, I'm Laura Ray, and recently I read a Vogue magazine article where they talked about a very famous makeup artist, Sandy Linter. I love Sandy. I have watched her videos for years. I've seen so many magazine articles written about her. Well, she's 75 years old now, and most of her life has been spent in the makeup industry. So if anybody knows what they're doing, she's definitely the one. So Sandy has also been a makeup artist for Jacqueline Onassis, for Barbara Walters, for Christy Brinkley. So she definitely has worked on a variety of people that are celebrities and regular people like you and me. So today I want to share some of her tips that she gave and do them to see how they work. And do they work for mature skin? Now, I'd like to thank Anna Luisa because they're the reason I can bring you these tips today. I have purchased so many pieces of Ana Luisa jewelry because I love it. It's very classic, classy. I've given them to my family, my daughters, my friends, my bestie. I give it usually to her on her birthday or Christmas, and she's loved every piece that I've given her. I like that you can stack the pieces too. Today I've stacked two pieces that Ana Luisa sent me. They sent me three pieces to share with you. I love the little lipstick necklace. It's so cute. You know how much I love lipstick. It's 14 karat gold dipped with red enamel. I just think it's so adorable. And then, of course, this cute little flower cut necklace. This could be casual, it could be stacked with other pieces you already have. So I'm really enjoying it. And this one here that I'm wearing in the center reminds me so much of a ring that my grandmother left me. It's such a beautiful ring. I love it. And this is very much like that ring. So it means a lot to me. But I do like to wear these alone also, but I think they're super fun when you stack them. So if you'd like to see any of their pieces, just go to the more or show more here and you'll see the link listed. They have great sales. I recently bought a piece for my birthday. I had wanted it for a year and it finally went on sale, so I grabbed it. Sandy's first tip is to use a lightweight moisturizer to prep your skin. She doesn't like heavy moisturizers because it doesn't set well with the makeup. I love this one from Kranicell, their Ceramide Moisturizing Cream. It's made for sensitive skin, rough skin. It's very hydrating, yet thin and works great under makeup. So I'm just going to put a little bit on. My face, I have oil in the T-zone, so I don't need a lot of moisturizer in the morning. I apply much more at night, a heavier moisturizer. So this one just works beautifully under my makeup. Tip number two is to target fine lines and wrinkles with a primer. And Sandy likes one that is weightless, sort of a gel texture that will hold on to the makeup. I'm loving this one from Revlon, their Colorstay Grip. It says on it 16 hours it will last. I don't really need 16 hours, but I like primers that are going to last a long time. This one feels really silky when it dries. It's one of those that has sort of that powdery, silky feel. I use it exactly like Sandy says, right into my fine lines. So on the forehead, I will go right into the lines. I don't really apply primer everywhere anymore. I've started just using it in targeted areas. My nose, the makeup wears off very quickly, so I'm going to go around there with primer. Here I have enlarged pores and also on the chin. And I like to go into the lines around my mouth here to sort of help keep the makeup on better. I love Sandy. She tells it like it is. She said, there's no hiding wrinkles, but the best way to approach foundation as a mature woman is to go in with a thin, very weightless kind of foundation with good pigmentation. She also likes to go a couple of shades warmer. She talks about that as we age, we get more of a gray cast to our skin, not as warm as we had in our youth. So I love this one from L'Oreal, their Pro Glow. I've talked about it before. What I love about this so much is it's super thin. I actually like it better than the Dior foundation that I tried. and it has enough pigmentation to cover any dark spots, those kind of things that I have. Now, you know that I love to mix my foundation with setting spray, so I'm going to go in with this Revlon Colorstay Lock. I love the pump on this. Really nice, smooth application. I'm going to mix this all up on my glass palette and then start applying. Now I'll be rubbing this into the skin just a little bit to spread it out, and then going in with my StansOut sponge. I am going up under the eye because I feel like if I get enough coverage from this, I can go super light with the concealer. I like to work in little small sections of the face. I usually just do my cheeks first and then work more on the nose. The nose takes a lot more work. And then work up into my forehead. Sandy also says to make sure to blend down the neck, and this sponge, the StansOut sponge, is great for that. I just put a little extra along the jawline and then just sort of pull down so all of this will blend. My neck, especially in the center here, is much lighter than my face because I just don't get any sun there. So I like to make sure that's well blended. Sandy likes to avoid putting concealer near the crow's feet, near the line. She tries to keep the concealer in the inner corner of the eye and the middle of the eye. She actually says most of us aren't that dark here on the outer corner. So she doesn't even apply concealer much there, just a tiny bit. She likes using a lightweight creamy concealer. What I found is I'm loving this Bye Bye Under Eye, and what I did is I bought it in a deeper shade. I'm finding that using a very light shade under the eyes is only drawing attention to my fine lines that I have in this area in the inner corner. So I just put a dot of that, and I'm not going to mix any setting spray with this because I'm going to thin it out a lot before I apply it. And I'm just going to dab in that inner corner right there, and then in the middle of the eye. And then I'm going to take my finger and just sort of stamp it and blend it out. And I am going to blend a little bit into this corner because I want to sort of brighten that there, but not much product. Let's try the other eye. So in the inner corner here and middle of the eye. I find that doing concealer, I've done it myself, like a lot of younger people do, putting a very bright concealer just makes my eyes that are deep set look even more deep set because you're bringing that light forward and it's making my eyes recede. So if you have deep set eyes like I do, and even if you don't, you might find using a concealer that actually matches your skin tone will work so much better. Tip number 4 is warm up your face. Sandy loves bronzer. I'm using this brand new one from LA Girl. It was so affordable. It has 2 shades to it, but they're really actually close. They look very different, but when I swatched them, they were pretty close in the shade range. But I'm going to just swirl my brush. I'm using a BK Beauty brush. This is a 104, and I'm going to just work it into my skin a little bit and then warm up the face. Now, Sandy talks a lot about going into the jawline also with the product. So what I'm doing is like a number 3 here, come in a little bit around the cheekbone, back out to my ear, and then down around the jawline, just like that. And I'll go back and blend that out where it meshes with the other side. Let me put a little more product, and this will give us that color that Sandy says we sort of lose as we age. And you also want to bring that bronzer down onto the neck. This will help disguise necklines too. Very affordable way to disguise those and to look so much healthier and vibrant. If you get a little too much bronzer on your forehead like I did, I just went in with my translucent powder and went right over it. And that's a great way to blend out your bronzer if you apply a little too much. Tip number 5 is to chisel your face with blush. Now, Sandy doesn't believe in putting blush on the apples of the cheeks when you're a mature woman, because I'm going to show you exactly why. Here's the apples of my cheeks. So she says, don't smile like that, like we did when we were younger. If I smile, here's my apples. Now watch. They're way down here. They're almost to the corners of my lips. So I have always loved applying my blush high on the cheekbone anyway. Even as a teen, I had a much more round face as a teenager. And I thought that it gave me a more chiseled look, like what Sandy's saying. So she likes to go in with a cream blush first. I'll be using this one from Milani, the Cheek Kiss blush. It's in the shade Rose Romance. You literally need a drop of this. So I'm going to spread it out. I like to spread it out because that gives me a little more control of the product. And you can go in with a brush. Let me show you. I'm going to take that bronzing brush, that BK104, and just tap. And then you don't want to swipe on the skin because it's going to pull off your foundation. You just want to tap. And I'm just tapping really softly and building up the blush. Ooh, I like that. So I'm just tapping very lightly, building it up. I am finding that this works a lot better and gives me more control than using my finger and dabbing it directly on the skin. You can do that. I've done that a bazillion times, but I like gently tapping with the brush. And you wouldn't have to use this brush, any, I would say, sort of fluffy brush. Sandy loves matte blush, so I'm going to use one I have. This is in the shade Dainty, and I'm just tapping. And again, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the cream and just tap high on the cheekbone and just press in. And I'm touching so lightly on my skin. You can always add more. It's a little harder to take off. So, and I'm going to bring it up here around the eye a little bit. As I was reading the Vogue article, I kept seeing more and more things that I agree with Sandy on. I love her so much. She says, avoid setting powder. I didn't use powder for many years, but I find now it does help to keep my makeup on nice if I have the right powder. That's really important. It's got to be finely milled. And I don't use it all over my face, more in the T-zone where my makeup is wearing off. So she loves the Dermablend banana powder. I didn't have that. I did order it because I wanted to see what it was like since she loves it so much, but I have the translucent powder. So I like to put a little bit into the cap, into the top lid. And then I take my StansOut sponge. This can be used not only for foundation, but also for powder. And I'm going to press it in all the areas where I know I will lose my foundation, which is right in the T-zone. And this helps keep my makeup on. It also does make, I feel, my fine lines a little less noticeable because this is a matte powder. All these glowy powders make my lines and wrinkles just pop. It really makes them show. I also like to powder around the mouth because I have some little fine lip lines here, and I find that that really helps with those too. Sandy says that mascara and liner is a necessity and eyeshadow is an accessory, and I would agree with her on that. I think that's a good way of putting it. Now, when she applies eyeshadow, I didn't see any mention in the Vogue article of an eyeshadow primer, but I have to have one or my eyeshadow will be gone in an hour. So I like this one from Gabriel. It's very creamy, moisturizing, yet even though my eyelids still are a little oily, it works. It spreads easy. It's just really a great eyeshadow primer. This helps block the purple on my lids. I have very thin skin on my eyelids. And so I really like this because it gives me a great canvas to apply eyeshadow. So we are going to only wear one color today. She's talking about eyeshadow being an accessory, so I have decided to use this brand new palette from Essence. It was $9.99, I think. It's their London palette. I really love it because it has a lot of shades I didn't own. Something new. I'll be using this tone here. It's sort of a grayish tone, but it looks great when I show you the other tips that she shares. So again, we're going for an accessory, not a necessity. I'm using my Jillian Dempsey brush, and a lot of you have asked me questions about how to use it, so I wanted to demonstrate that too. I just use sort of the flat side of the brush when I'm doing the mobile lid, like this. And then to blend up here, so simple. All I do is put a little product. I'm going into my crease and just going up like you're fanning out. Just like if you were taking a paintbrush and fanning paint out like that, that's the stroke I'm doing with this brush. And it gives a very airbrush look. I find that the area here right above the crease that can be hard to blend is super easy with this, and that's why I'm so in love with it. So I'm going to put a little more and just blend, because what we're going to do is use some eyeliner that she recommends to really make the eyes pop. Sandy says that not using black eyeliner is a myth. We should be using it, that it will bring out the white of your eyes and really make the eyes pop. She says you just don't want a thick black line. You want it to be really thin. Now, the thinnest eyeliner I've ever used is this Can Make. It is so thin. It's got this little micro tip here, and I can really scrub along the lash line, and that's why I like it. So this is what I'll be using today. And again, like she says, go into the lash line, make little dashes. I also like to take the Jillian Dempsey brush and smudge out my eyeliner so it looks softer, and I have applied some under the eyes. So I just take the brush right at the lash line and smudge a little bit. Now the Can Make is great because it gives you a little bit of time to work with it, and then it's on for good. It's really a great liner. Now I can already see like the whites of my eyes popping. So this tip definitely works. And I love how she said you can use black, but just use a thin line. That's it. Tip 8 from Sandy says to emphasize the eyes by curling the lashes. Now, normally I use my heated curler, but she uses a regular curler. I have this little one I bought a long time ago. I really like it. It's good for the side lashes, but you can also just sort of do one set, then do another. It doesn't allow you to curl them all at one time, but you can sort of move it along the eye like this to curl your lashes, and she curls them before she applies mascara. Sandy does not like the idea of thickening mascara. She feels they really dry out the lashes. I've been having such success using a tubing mascara. I feel like now my lashes are growing thicker. I think it's because the other mascaras I was using were drying out my lashes. So I'll be using my L'Oreal tubing mascara, going in first with the primer. These tubes are so wild. When you go to take them off, you only use water, so you don't use eye makeup remover, and I think that might be another help to the lashes too. A lot of eye makeup removers have stuff in them that dry out the lashes. But when you go to wash this off, the tubes start falling off. It looks like you're losing your lashes, but you're actually losing the tubes that surround the lashes. So I'm going to actually even put a little bit on my lower lashes, and I will be using my brush I've talked about. This bent brush is so great for applying mascara. I want to show you how I do that. Take this in and get the product on the brush. And then what I like about this brush is you can get so close underneath to the lash line. I like to go over here and sort of wiggle. It's almost like I'm applying another eyeliner under there. But this brush allows me to get places I can't get with a wand without poking my eye out. So I like doing this. The other thing that is a game changer for me is that I can get all these lashes. Normally with a wand, I have so much trouble getting in this outer corner here because of how my eyes come down. And I'm afraid to get in this inner corner, so I miss those lashes a lot. So it looks like I have a lot more lashes when I use this. Now I can go over now and just sort of get them all with the brush, but I like to do the fine detail work with this. Now, what's really great is for the bottom lashes. I wasn't even putting mascara before in my bottom lashes, where now I can just lightly coat them and they don't look heavy or draw my eye down, but they make them show because my lashes are so light, the bottom lashes don't really even show. So I like doing the bottom lashes now because it gives my eye much more definition. Tip number 9 is the brows have it. Sandy, first of all, doesn't believe in doing much plucking of your brows, so I do the same thing. If I see a brow hair that's growing way down here that's not in my brows, I will pluck that or shave that. But I do not really pluck my brows anymore. The brow hair doesn't grow that fast or that thick anymore, so if I were to pluck it, it would not be helpful. She also likes to go in with a very thin point brow pencil. And I love this one from House Labs. I'm gonna just start with the tail. I like to start there or right around here in the arch. That's my thinnest areas. I probably plucked too much as a teenager. Who didn't? I like to go the opposite way too. I find that helps to fill in and also helps me when I'm trying to fill in areas that maybe don't have any hair at all. I can get sort of a different angle if I work backwards. Tip number 10 is to balance out your lip by using a shade of lipstick close to your own lip color. I love this one from Flower Beauty. This is Spiced Petal, the one that is a dupe for Pillow Talk. I think that's why I like Pillow Talk so much because it is very close to my own natural lip color. And Sandy will start working on the outside of the lip and go up towards the Cupid's bow on both the upper and lower lip. Share your best beauty tip for women over 50. We'd love to all hear. Just leave it in the comments. Now, if you're interested in looking at the sales that Ana Luisa is having, they have some great sales. I purchased some myself. Then go over to the link and you will also see that if you order $50 worth, you get free shipping. I just bought 2 pieces for my bestie and she loved them. They have so many great things for you or for a gift. Make sure to check the first pinned comment for the winner of last week's giveaway. Now, I'll be giving another StansOut sponge away this week. I love them so much. So if you're interested, just make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And I would love it if you would give the video a like if you found it helpful. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful week, and I'll see you soon.